Have you ever wondered what the difference is between a bookkeeper and an accountant? And which one is actually best suited for your business? In this video, I'm going to tell you the differences and which one you should choose. So stick around. So to keep it very simple, a bookkeeper's job is to make sure that they keep the financial records of a business neat and clean. So how do they do that? Every month, a bookkeeper will download the bank statements of a business and pretty much go over every single transactions that happen in the account of the company. And they will make sure to list all of the transactions and actually categorize every single transactions to the appropriate category. So what does categorizing mean? Basically, every single business expense is assigned a category. And then, of course, at the end of the month, the bookkeeper will generate financial reports for the business. So, for example, financial reports like a profit and loss statement, general ledgers, as well as the balance sheet. And then, of course, these reports are presented to the business owner, in which the business owner can now look at these financial records and make decisions, for the future of the business. A bookkeeper can also do other things. For example, they can handle accounts payable, accounts receivable. If the bookkeeper is a little bit more advanced, they can handle payroll. And some bookkeepers even go as far as preparing and filing taxes. You can look at a bookkeeper as pretty much the person that'll handle the day-to-day financial activities, the day-to-day of a business. And to illustrate, think of a garden. So if you have a landscaper that is handling maintenance of the garden, they'll make sure it is watered, they'll make sure to mow the lawn, they'll make sure to clean it up. That's pretty much what a bookkeeper does. They handle the day-to-day. Now, when it comes to the accountant is pretty much a bookkeeper's best friend. In what sense? Well, the accountant will also review the financial records of a business, but they'll look at it from the standpoint of taxes. And their knowledge is a lot larger, especially when it comes to state taxes and, of course, federal taxes. So the accountant, they're pretty much the surgeon, I would say, whereas the bookkeeper is the nurse, right? So when you go to the hospital, you have a nurse. She handles the day-to-day care of the patient, whereas the surgeon, he only shows up when, it's time for the surgery, right? He's the specialist. So, and likewise, the accountant is the specialist. You'll find at times that there are accountants that do the job of a bookkeeper, but I don't really see that too much. Typically, if you're looking at large accounting firms, they'll have their CPAs, and then of course they'll have bookkeepers on staff as well. And then of course the bookkeepers, they'll handle the financial records, and then they pass them on to the accountants that will obviously make some of the decisions related to taxes. Your accountant is, of course, your best friend, especially around tax time, right? And a lot of the times bookkeepers actually have relationships with an accountant. So for example, let's say you're just starting out and you do have a bookkeeper, but you don't have a CPA. So if your bookkeeper doesn't handle taxes, they only do the bookkeeping part of your business, a lot of times what will happen is that bookkeeper will actually forward your files to a CPA that will then help out with the tax part, right? So, typically you'll need to find that out with your bookkeeper, what the arrangement is and whatnot. But a lot of the times an accountant's busiest season is going to be tax time. That's why a lot of the times it's very hard to get a hold of an accountant, because they're just working to meet the IRS's deadlines. When it comes to, of course, the question of which one should you hire, which one is best. So some businesses, they rather start out with a bookkeeper. Some businesses, they start out with just an accountant, and some businesses actually have both of them. It really depends on your type of business. But let me take a step back here. If you're a startup, you're just getting started, or perhaps you don't have a lot of revenue, to me, my question to you is, why are you rushing to hire a CPA? What's the reason behind that? Because accountants tend to be a little bit more pricey. And of course, a bookkeeper is a little bit cheaper, or in some cases, a lot cheaper. And then, of course, especially if that bookkeeper can do taxes, it's probably in your advantage to stick with that. And of course, if you have a good bookkeeper who is always available to you, if you have a question that perhaps that bookkeeper cannot answer, a good bookkeeper will have relationships with several different CPAs. For example, like us, we're not CPAs. We're a firm of a few bookkeepers. But what happens is whenever we have clients, perhaps that have complex questions, or perhaps they have their business is set up a little bit more above our understanding of perhaps the tax laws, we have CPAs that we work with that are readily available to us that can answer the questions and, of course, help our clients to make the best decisions that will benefit them and, of course, to minimize their tax liabilities, right? Because that's the goal. We all have to pay taxes, but we always want to see how we can minimize our tax liabilities. Now, as far as going back to if you're a startup, my question to you, of course, do you really need a CPA, right? Where is your business? You're just getting started. Do you have everything set up, right? To me, if you're just getting started, it probably is better for you to start slow, start low. What does that mean? Well, take your time, work with a bookkeeper that can actually grow with you, right? And you can even start out by doing your own books. You get your statements, you download your statements, you make sure everything is accurate, you do your best to categorize your transactions. You make sure that you've got all of your income on one side and all your expenses on the other side. You see where the business is at. Are you profitable? Are you losing money, right? Or have you received all your payments? Have you paid all of your state and local taxes, etc., etc.? Right. So if you're just getting started, that's actually a good way to learn and to actually develop good habits when it comes to handling your business finances. And then, of course, as your business grow, at that point, you get to that next level. Well, you know what? I need someone to help me with my books. I need a bookkeeper. Okay, so now you go out there, you hire someone on staff, or you hire a company to handle your books. And basically that bookkeeper now, their job is to make sure that they're doing exactly what you were doing, but they're going to take it a little bit further, right? Now they're preparing your financial statements, and then of course they're giving you some advice, some actionable items that you can take in order to make sure that everything is up to par leading up to filing your taxes. And then of course in the background, now the bookkeeper may also consult with a CPA. Hey, I want you to take a look at these financials. What do you think? What would you advise this client? And the CPA may have some good advice to give to the bookkeeper, and the bookkeeper may take that advice to you as well. So again, the question is, which one is best for you? Again, it really depends on where you are at with your business. But if you're just getting started, right, start out with a bookkeeper, perhaps with a lot of resources and was knowledgeable and of course was going to be available to you. But if you've got the money and you feel like you want more right up front from the beginning, then by all means, right, you hire a CPA, you do what you feel comfortable with. But Uh, this is more for businesses that are just getting started, or perhaps that are not where they need to be revenue wise and they want to save money every month. Then going the bookkeeper route is actually probably the most sensible decision for them to make for their business. So I hope you were able to learn something as far as the differences between a bookkeeper and an accountant and how they're different and how they work together. So hopefully this video was very helpful to you. And of course, if you found it helpful, I encourage you to like this video, share it, and of course, subscribe to my channel where I talk about subjects like these. And then of course, I talk about things like how to become a better business owner, especially in today's society. So thank you again for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.